Hi, today we are going to see how to read the data from an Excel sheet in Pega and to copy those rows of data in Excel sheet into a page list property in Pega. Firstly, step 1, you need to have two Excel sheets. One is the actual Excel sheet, which is that it contains the data, columns and rows. Second thing is we need to create a template. This template is basically for PRPC to understand the structure of those properties. When you are going to read from the Excel sheet, how Pega has to interpret those. For that purpose, we need to create a template also. So I am going to show you both of them now. As you can see here, A underscore data is the Excel sheet which contains the actual data. In real life, they can contain many rows of data, and A underscore template is the Excel sheet which contains the template. The format of the template is header should be same as the data, and in place of rows, that is in place of property values, you need to have the property structure. That is in clever brackets you have to write .px results property name, that is car name or make or color or whatever it is. Space input. Space input is needed for PRPC to identify that this is an input. The input property is dot color or dot make or dot car name. Second step is you need to create a binary file in PRPC. The purpose of this binary file is you have to store the template in this binary file, so that PRPC will read from this binary file, will find the template or the structure from this binary file. The procedure to create a binary file is you can go to Records Explorer. Under Technical category, you can click on binary file and click on Create. App directory is the nothing but the folder. You can give any folder. Generally, WebWB is used. File type is the extension, that is CSV or Excel. That is, in our case, we are using Excel format. So we would be using .xslx. So I have created that binary file already. I think this is not the one. I will show you my binary file as well. My binary file name is cars details template. So I can open that. So you can see XLSX is the format. One disadvantage of this binary file rule type itself is for images, it's okay because they will create a thumbnail and show it here. You can easily know whether any file is uploaded or not. Now here I have already uploaded that A underscore template file here, but there is no way for us to know whether it is uploaded or not. The only way is you can click download file. Yes, it is downloaded in my local machine. So yes, so file is already uploaded. So this is the procedure for creating a binary file. And in this binary file, you should give only the template, not the actual data Excel file. You should give the template for PRPC to recognize the clipboard structure. Third step is you need to create a file path control configuration in the section. That is, you need to go to your section. You can add any control whatever you want. Ideally, you have to add file path control, but if you see in this, there is no file path control available in the structural or data capture pickers. So what we can do, you can add any other control, some temporary dummy control. You can click on change here, go to other. Here you search file path and press submit. You can enter all these details later also. So you can keep py file name OOTB property under property. So this is the way you can use file path control. Now I am going to tell you an interesting thing. There are two controls related to file upload only. One is file path. If you open this, it is px file upload from Pega social rule set, and the other is file path control from Pega gadgets. The one which you need to use is px file upload control from Pega social rule set. The difference is the one which is coming from Pega social rule set, it contains upload activity, means your business logic to convert from Excel rows to which page list in clipboard. Likewise, your reload section, these all parameters will be available. But if you see the other one, you don't find such parameters. So how to differentiate between both of them? You go to change tab, go to other. If you just type file, you are going to get or file path, something like this. You are going to get file path. Don't use this. You type file upload and use px file upload. This is the one you are supposed to use. So be cautious in which control you are using, because both show the name as file path only. Control name is file path, but if you see, if you open, one is px file upload from Pega social rule set, which contains parameters to call your upload activity without using another button. Otherwise, you have to configure another button in the action set. You have to call this activity. You also have a reload section. You need not refresh section explicitly using another action set. But there is another control, as you can see here. Its name is also file path only. Here it will reflect as file path only. But once you open, you are going to get file path from Pega gadgets. Step 4 is creating the properties to hold the data retrieved from Excel, because once the data is retrieved from the Excel, they have to be stored in properties in Pega. So those properties you can create in the data class or in your work class depending on your requirement. Generally, a good design practice is to create a data type. Why? Because today our requirement is to store them only into the page list under pyWorkPage. But say tomorrow your requirement might change. You might need to store those details in the database also. So the benefit of creating a data type is all you need to do tomorrow to add to the DB is you need to do a obj save for that page. That's all. Today I don't want to save them to the DB, so I will not do a obj save on the any page which is related to this data class. In this data type, you need to add all the properties. These properties are nothing but the headings or the column names in your Excel sheet. Next, you need to create a page list properties in your work class. You can create in the work dash class or your work pool or class group, or even in your work dash service case class layer. The benefit of this page list property is creating in work classes, then only you can use this page list property in your case if you want to show this data anywhere in the UI, or if you want to store this page list, this data you are storing in your pyWorkPage under this page list head. First of all, this is a page. Why? Because it needs to store multiple data, right? Like color, car name, make, model, year, multiple properties. List because the Excel rows have multiple rows. Each row will be stored in each of the index, like cars of 1, of 2, of 3, multiple pages. So this cars page list property will be in any of your work classes depending on your business reusability. If you want to use this across service cases, Then you can create in the higher class levels like work dash or your work pool. Or if you want only in one service case, then you can create in work abc dash d dash work dash service case name. The page definition or the type would be of the data class. Optionally, you can also show these details once you extract from the Excel into the page list property in the UA by adding a table control in your section or view. So you go to your section, you just structural table, then you give the source as from property. The property is nothing but the page list property we have created dot cos, and you can show it here. Next, step 5. We need to write an activity which involves the logic from transferring the details from Excel rows to a property in Pega. How that can be done? In our case, we created an activity called extract from Excel. There are two ways to call this activity. One is in your custom activity, you need to call OOTB activity px parse Excel file. So firstly, you need to create a new page of type equal to the data class so that you can access those properties. Always top level page will be code pagelist. Page name.px results will be of your data class. Next, call OOTB PRPC activity. This activity has multiple parameters. These all are the inputs. This is the output parameter, as you can see in the activity parameters tab. All are input parameters only, but this one is like an output parameter. You can think like that. Why? Because this activity, it will process and gives the data from the Excel sheet into the primary page or the step page. So you need to make sure that the step page will be your data page, page which refers to the data class. It has two important mandatory inputs. You select has header because our Excel sheet is having headers. FS file name and template RFP. FS file name, you give this px requested.py file upload, and template RFB you give webwb, that is the directory name, exclamation, binary file name. So it is going to be like this: webwb exclamation, that is the webwb or directory name, exclamation, binary file name, exclamation, binary file format. So if you see our binary file, it is webwb dot name dot format. Instead of dot, you are giving exclamation. So this is important. So this template RFB, what it does is it holds the template clipboard structure. So template details in the format, file format, exclamation, file name, exclamation, XLSX. It's not file format, it's written wrongly here, it's the directory name actually. Here we are giving PRPC our template, Excel template. So Excel can have many columns and many rows, but from which cell in the Excel to extract into which property, that we are telling through this. This is the file name. Whatever you have uploaded, that will get uploaded in one of the directories in the server. If you are using a PRPC personal edition, then you can go to the temp folders, service import nested folder, and you can see that. So now I will go to the case type. So I will upload one file Now I will show you in the clipboard. Go to the clipboard. In clipboard, if you go to system pages, px requester page, you see here py file upload. This is the path. So earlier we have uploaded a underscore template into the binary file. That is different. That directory is different. That we are giving here under template RFB. But fs file name is the file which you are uploading at the runtime. This web static content global service export a underscore data Excel sheet. This is our Excel sheet. Once we upload, it is stored in this directory in Pega cloud or in Pega server. So from this path, instead of hard coding, we are giving from this px requester dot py file upload. Now, once this activity gets executed, entire data gets stored in the cars details page. If you see that, if you trace this, you can get cars details.px results of 1, of 2, of 3, like that. Now all you need to do is loop through these px results and save that data from that px results into your cars page list in pyWorkPage or primary page, because this activity is being called from work dash section. So the primary page would generally be your pyWorkPage, or you can write here pyWorkPage also. So you are mapping property by property. Another way to do is, all you are doing property set. Here for this property set, the step page context is cars details.px results. So directly you can map. Just for understanding purpose, I have again written of current of dot car name you are mapping to primary, or directly you can map like this. Another way is you can change the step page context to the source properties. Here step page context is the target. Step page context is the source you are appending. So from cars details.px result, that is you are looping px results of 1, of 2, of 3, that is of current, to the primary page dot cars page list you can map. Although I am not a big fan of this methodology, generally we use without any confusion. Here the step page is cars details.px results. So this step page context would also be the same. So directly you can map. Or if you want to have any ambiguity, you directly use it again. Car detail.px results of current.car name. So now last step is output. Once let me refresh the case, browse, attach, don't attach template, attach the data file. You have got this. Now let's go to the clipboard. In clipboard, there is a cars details page whose px results hold this data. And also in your pyWorkPage, you have this cars page list of 1, of 2, of 3. As a best practice, in your activity, you can do a page remove, the cars details page, because it is being used temporarily only. It's being used temporarily because we are calling this px parse excel file in this context. Data from the excel will come under this page. From that we are copying into the pyWorkPage properties, pyWorkPage page list property, and we can remove this page. Or if you don't have the requirement to copy into the work object, then you can do some processing on this and you can keep that in the clipboard then. But generally it's not a good practice to keep temporary pages, because it's a cars details temporary page for processing. Just like if you make a connection to the DB in a Java step, it's your own responsibility to close that connection. Like whenever you wash hands and you take lunch, again it's your responsibility to wash your hands again. It's also a same design best practice to remove that page. Now I have like just pressed refresh. Now if you see the clipboard, it doesn't have that cars details. If you refresh, temporary pages will vanish. Also the cars page list is not populated because it's only populated into the clipboard. Still it did not go into this work table because I did not press submit. Commit has not happened to the DB. From the section it has went to the clipboard. From clipboard to DB has not occurred because I did not press submit, but I pressed refresh section. So let me upload once again. So now let me go to clipboard again. So if you see, you can't find cars details page because I have done page remove in that activity. Now here again you can find cars of 1, cars of 2, cars of 3. If I refresh again, cars of 1 page, cars page list will be removed under pyWorkPage because this is not committed to DB yet. Whatever objects are there in the pyWorkPage, that will be committed to DB automatically based on the PRPC bulk commit transaction model that will be incurred when you press finish assignment or submit. Thank you.